A birthday celebration turns into a deadly ambush, and it's all caught on camera.
And they are shooting at Charles now, and you can see that he's the passenger in that car that's moving and trying to flee.
Prosecutors say it was a well-organized hit, one they claim wouldn't have been possible without someone tracking the victim's every move.
That she followed this man, watched him, encouraged her co-defendants by her actions and words, that she assisted in every way, and then after the fact did everything she could to defend this conspiracy.
When it's the defendant's turn to share her side, she insists she's innocent.
Did you have any involvement in Charles Jones's murder?
No, I did not.
Did anyone tell you anything about a plot to kill Charles Jones when you went to Tampa?
No, they didn't.
Now a jury has to decide, is she just a scared girlfriend caught in the middle or an accomplice to a deadly conspiracy?
We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1.
Welcome to this episode of Female Criminals. I'm Elizabeth Millner. Watch on Spotify. If you're subscribed to Spotify Premium, you don't get any Spotify ads on my video. Jacksonville, Florida. That's where we meet this week's female criminal, Alicia Latoya Andrews. Alicia was born on February 9, 2003. She's reportedly always called Jacksonville, Florida home. After graduating high school in the summer of 2021, Alicia meets a guy who catches her eye. His name is Isaiah Chance.
What did you know of him?
He had a sister that I was close with not close with, but like cool with at Range High School.
Okay. And when you started dating in May or after May of 2021, how long did that relationship last for?
It wasn't very long. We were on and off.
According to Alicia, Isaiah was very controlling throughout their relationship. He would dictate what clothes she wore, what she posted on social media. And on some occasions, Alicia says Isaiah would be physically abusive.
It was kind of like he was manipulating me. Like, I did want to leave, but I didn't want to leave. And I mean, you really want to understand unless you're in the situation. It's not that easy to leave all the time. And then I'm young, and he'll tell me, nobody wants you, nobody gonna want you, and like he'll make statements like that, and I'll kind of just like, okay, so I settled.
Their on-again, off-again relationship lasts for years, but it forever changes on June 23rd, 2024. Alicia says her boyfriend Isaiah wanted to take a trip to Tampa, Florida. Tampa is about a 3-hour drive south of Jacksonville, and Alicia says she wants to go with him. They weren't traveling alone. Isaiah wanted to bring his little brother along too. His name is Sean Gathright. Alicia, Isaiah, and Sean all get into the car. On the way, they stop at a gas station and in an apartment complex where they meet 2 other men, Davion and Rashad Murphy. The group travels to Tampa, and they get to their pre-booked Airbnb around 8 p.m. that night. According to Alicia, after getting to Tampa, Isaiah and Sean leave, but she says she has no idea where to. She's left at the Airbnb with Rashad and Davion Murphy, who are cousins, but to Alicia, these guys are essentially strangers. When Isaiah and Sean return, Isaiah takes Alicia out for a night on the town. They go to several clubs in Tampa, Teasers, Players Club, and Truth 18. Once they leave Truth 18, Isaiah drives to a parking lot and asks to borrow Alicia's phone for a few minutes. As they're driving away, Alicia says she hears a startling sound, something that sounds like gunshots, but she doesn't think much of it at the time. She and Isaiah head back to the Airbnb. The following day, they head back to Jacksonville. On the same night the group is in Tampa, news breaks of a shooting at a local La Quinta hotel. According to police, multiple people have been shot, including a rapper from Jacksonville named Julio Foolio, whose real name is Charles Jones. Julio Foolio is the only one whose injuries are fatal. He's pronounced dead after being rushed to a hospital. Now authorities in Tampa are investigating his death, which is declared a homicide. Back in Jacksonville, Alicia remembers hearing about Julio Foolio's death on social media, and there's something about where the shooting took place that stands out to her.
Did you recognize the hotel?
Yeah.
And when you saw that on your social media, what did you think?
I mean, I was confused. I'm like, that's probably what I heard.
Julio Foolio is reportedly well known in Jacksonville, and not just for his music. According to police, Julio Foolio is a known member of the 6 Block Gang, a group that has been locked in a deadly tit-for-tat war with rival gang ATK for years. The beef played out not only in the streets, but online. Diss tracks, Instagram lives, taunts about dead friends, and investigators believe that digital trail might hold the key to who wanted Julio Foolio dead. They pull surveillance footage, track cell phone data, dig through social media posts, and start mapping out everyone who traveled from Jacksonville to Tampa the weekend of the murder. Then on July 27th of 2024, investigators come knocking on Isaiah Chance's front door.
Hands up! Hands in the air. Hands in the air.
All right, slowly walk toward me. Let's go. Right here. Walk right here. Let's go. Yeah.
Walk this way. Listen to the instructions.
Yep.
Hey, keep your hands up and walk out towards me. Hey, over here. Come this way. Over here. You're going to get hit with the less lethal. Get your hands up and walk towards me. Back up. All right, go to your knees. Put your hands behind your back. Stay there. Don't move.
Isaiah Chance isn't the only person officers are there to arrest. They want Alicia too.
Hey, come out. We have a warrant for your arrest. This is the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
All right, contact at front door. Come on out. Put your hands up.
Put your hands up.
Put your hands up. Walk to me. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Now turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
Is there anybody else inside?
Isaiah Chance and Alicia Andrews are both arrested and charged with premeditated first-degree murder with a firearm and conspiracy to commit premeditated first-degree murder with a firearm. Investigators say those charges are in connection to Julio Foolio's murder. They aren't the only ones arrested. Around the same time officers are putting Alicia and Isaiah in cuffs, across town additional officers are arresting Sean Gathright.
Driver! Open the car door! Let me see your hands! Step on out! Step on out! Look away! Back up to the sound of my voice! Yep. Stop right there. Lift your shirt up. Turn. Do a 360.
What?
Just listen to us. We'll talk about it. Keep going. Keep going. Turn. Now walk back to the sound of my voice. Come on. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Walk back to me. Hands behind your back.
18-year-old Sean Gathright is arrested on charges of premeditated first-degree murder with a firearm, 3 counts of attempted premeditated murder in the first degree with a firearm, plus an additional count of tampering with physical evidence. All 3 are held in the Duval County Jail pending extradition to Tampa, Florida. But the public doesn't learn about their arrests right away. For 2 days, investigators keep the details tightly under wraps as they continue tracking down everyone they believe is involved in the murder of Charles Jones, aka Julio Foolio. On July 29, 2024, Tampa Police Chief Lee Burkaw and Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters hold a joint press conference in Tampa, Florida. They announced the arrests of Alicia Andrews, Isaiah Chance, and Sean Gathright. But they also make it clear the investigation is far from over. There are 2 more suspects who are on the run.
A little more than a month ago, a group of individuals with the goal of premeditated murder traveled from Jacksonville to Tampa to commit a heinous crime in our city. I said at that time that we would make arrests and get justice in this case for all the victims, including the mother of Charles Jones, who traveled from Jacksonville this morning to be present for this announcement. Chance, Andrews, and Gathright were arrested over the weekend in Jacksonville. Davion Murphy and Rashard Murphy are still fugitives of justice, and we are working closely with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Marshals to apprehend them.
According to Tampa Police Chief Lee Burkaw, all 5 suspects played a role. 2 were sent to track Julio Foolio down, while the other 3 were the alleged shooters.
Jones was in town celebrating his birthday and posted on his social media his locations several times throughout that night. Surveillance video was critical in this investigation, as suspects were seen on video following Jones from location to location. This shows the lengths that these individuals were willing to go through and achieve this murder. would occur. At 4:15 in the morning, Jones began to head to a hotel on McKinley. One of the suspect vehicles is seen following the victim. However, instead of following them into a parking lot, they stage across the street. At 4:38, 3 shooters exit a vehicle and walked in the direction of the hotel. They murdered Jones with a handgun and 2 rifles. This barrage of gunfire also struck 3 additional victims who miraculously survived this incident.
Officials placed surveillance video that captured the shocking moments when the gunman arrived at the parking lot of Julio Foolio's hotel.
The shooters are getting in position for their planned out murder. And they are shooting at Charles now, and you can see that he's the passenger in that car that's moving and trying to flee. And again, they're still shooting at him. He's the right front passenger in that vehicle. It's clear from that video what they were set out to do and what they had planned to do. The investigation would later reveal that the 3 armed shooters were Sean Gaithright, Rashard Murphy, and Davion Murphy.
Chief Burkhoff says detectives pieced the case together using a combination of license plate readers, surveillance footage from the scene, and cell phone records. That evidence helped them track the vehicles, which eventually linked back to the suspects. Then investigators revealed what they believe was the motive behind the killing, a long-standing feud between gangs.
Detectives believe that the ATK and the 1200 worked together to target Jones as part of an ongoing feud in Jacksonville. I want to send a clear message to anyone that the city of Tampa is not where you want to come to settle a dispute. You will be charged, you will be arrested, and you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent possible. Furthermore, if you're a gang member, there's no alleged immunity through a cone of silence, as our detectives will find evidence needed to make an arrest and hold everyone accountable.
Investigators reveal Isaiah Chance is a documented ATK member, which stands for Ace's Top Killers. Rashard Murphy is a documented 1200 gang member, and investigators say his cousin Davion Murphy is a documented 1200 gang associate. Officials never clearly state whether Alicia Andrews or Sean Gaithright are official gang members, but they make it clear all of the suspects will be held accountable, whether they're accused of pulling the trigger or not.
5 people, though, are charged with murder. The level of planning and coordination between these 5 defendants was truly alarming. It is clear that they all had one purpose in coming to Tampa, and that was to kill. And let's not lose sight of the fact that there are innocent victims in every homicide case, the loved ones who are left behind. His fans knew him as Julio Foolio, but to his mom, he's Charles.
The day after officials hold their press conference, Rashard Murphy is arrested. Video posted by the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office show law enforcement, including SWAT units, surrounding a local apartment complex where he was allegedly hiding. Rashard ultimately surrenders, but his cousin Davion is still nowhere to be found. Davion Murphy isn't located by law enforcement until January of 2025, after being on the run for 6 months. According to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, the 27-year-old is arrested by the Sheriff's Office gang unit and U.S. Marshals after he's found hiding out in an apartment complex in Jacksonville. All 5 defendants are extradited to Tampa, Florida, and they're held in the Hillsborough County Jail pending trial. Alicia Andrews was supposed to be the first of all 5 to go on trial in January of 2025, but the defense files a motion to waive the right to a speedy trial because Alicia is pregnant with Isaiah's baby. In their motion, her attorneys reportedly stated her due date is February 16, 2025. She gives birth. Then months later, in late October of 2025, Alicia finally goes on trial. According to the prosecution's theory, Alicia didn't go to Tampa just because she was along for the ride. Prosecutors argue she helped locate the victim before the shooting, then gave misleading statements to police afterward.
The evidence will show that she makes statements to the police that are false, multiple statements. The evidence will show she lies to them over and over and over in this interview. She lies about her knowledge of these gangs. She lies about her knowledge of who Julio Foolio is. And you're going to see in the evidence that not only does she know who he is, She's known who he is for years. She has animosity towards him. You'll see that in the evidence. But she lies about simple facts that are easily rebutted. Namely, she lies about knowing this guy, Sean Gathright, the individual whose house she left from to come to Tampa, the individual who was driving the Chevy Impala that she was sitting in for almost 3.5 hours driving to Tampa on the 22nd. The individual who was best friends with her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance. She's shown that photograph. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. And you will see in the evidence that these lies are nonchalant lies. We will drag it into this courtroom for everyone to see, for everyone to know its evil and sinister and murderous nature. It will be exposed, and there will be no masks for this defendant to wear to hide from the state's evidence. The truth in this case, the truth will be clear, crystal clear, at the end of the state's case. There will be no Uber drivers waiting to whisk Miss Andrews away to avoid your verdict when you find her guilty. Guilty of conspiring with these 4 men, and guilty as a principal to first-degree murder. And folks, the state's evidence will let every single one of you know deep in your hearts that that is the truth, that she conspired in this wicked and despicably evil, cold-blooded murder. That she followed this man, watched him, encouraged her co-defendants by her actions and words, tried to find lodging, that she assisted in every way, and then, after the fact, did everything she could to defend this conspiracy.
The defense takes a very different position. They argue Alicia had no idea her boyfriend and his co-defendants were allegedly planning to kill Julio Foolio.
On the weekend, Charles Jones was killed. Alicia Andrews was on a weekend trip with her boyfriend with only one agenda: to be with her boyfriend. 2, Alicia Andrews is not in a gang. 3, with the exception of her boyfriend, Alicia Andrews did not know any of those men in that group, and none of those men in that group knew Alicia Andrews. As a matter of fact, if there was some conspiracy, Alicia Andrews was not in the loop because she was not in the group. Alicia Andrews did not know these guys intended to commit murder. No evidence whatsoever, except for Alicia Andrews came to Tampa to be with her boyfriend. The group, all of them in the group, made their phones go ghost, except Alicia Andrews. All of them wore all black attire, not Alicia Andrews. If the state's right, all of them went in the back door of the Airbnb, not Alicia Andrews. All of them brought guns to the party, except Alicia Andrews. It was Alicia Andrews the entire time who had one agenda and one alone, that to be with her boyfriend, never in a group of guys who conspired to kill Charles Jones. What you will learn is that Alicia Andrews had absolutely no knowledge that these 4 boys conspired to kill Charles Jones. And the reason she had no knowledge is because she was not in that group. She was never in the loop because she was never in the group.
While Alicia denies any ties to gangs, The jury hears from someone close to her, a friend who takes the stand as a state's witness. This friend is not publicly identified or shown on camera, but in her testimony, she says Alicia has previously mentioned Isaiah had ties to a Jacksonville gang.
Did Alicia Andrews ever mention to you that Isaiah Chance was in a gang?
She mentioned that there were rumors that he was in a gang.
And when did she mention that? When was that conversation? Was that before June of 2024?
It was before June of 2024, but I can't give you a specific date.
Do you remember what gang that was?
I believe it's NHG.
Okay. And is that a gang in Jacksonville, Florida?
Yes, it is.
And you yourself, living in Jacksonville, Florida, you are aware with a rapper by the name of Julio Foolio, Charles Jones, the victim in this case. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And that is a name that you have been familiar with for a very long time. Is that correct?
That is correct.
According to Alicia's friend, even back in high school, they saw the impact of the ongoing gang wars in Jacksonville. And that may have played a role in how Alicia viewed the victim, Charles Jones, aka Julio Foolio.
Okay, let's go back to this when she texted you. Hold on, because I think Foolio talking about Therese and his friends, LMAOOO. I do not like him. What's she talking about in this particular sentence?
Foolio is talking about Therese on social media.
On social media?
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together. And then she says to you, that is Foolio, though he recruit a bunch of dumb who's willing to die. Is that what you said in response to her?
Yes.
And what do you mean by he's recruiting a bunch of people?
Well, it was something that really was city known and everybody was saying, like, I'm not the only person that said that. A lot of people in this city have said that, like, he recruit a lot of people to die, meaning that he got a lot of people that will come behind him ready to risk their life behind him, and he's still out and alive and living his life.
And he's a part of 6 Block, right?
Correct.
And how does Therese know Foolio?
They used to be in the same group, and then they split up.
6 Block?
Well, it's a lot in 6 Blocks, so I guess you can say that, yeah, he was 6 Block side.
By day 7 of trial, the prosecution's case takes a turn when Detective Juan Ramos is cross-examined by Alicia's attorney. Under cross-examination, the detective admits there's not a lot of evidence on Alicia specifically.
Good morning, Detective Ramos.
Good morning, sir.
All right, so there's no evidence whatsoever that at the time that Alicia Andrews was attempting to book an Airbnb that she knew of some murder plot to kill Julio Foolio. Is that correct?
He can answer if he knows.
There, at the time that she's booking it on Friday, are you specifying, or
At the
now?
time that she sends an Instagram text message to the individual on Instagram at that time.
I can't speak to what was going on in her mind at the specific time she's sending that message.
All right, there's no confession note anywhere from Alicia Andrews that she knew of any murder plot. That's correct?
Correct, sir.
There's no incriminating message in her phone that says she knew of a murder plot to kill Julio Foolio Charles Jones. Is that correct?
In detail, no.
All right. When you say in detail, no. Is there any undetailed or less detailed message in her phone that says she knew of a plot to kill Julio Foolio Charles Jones?
I'm aware of the messages that she wished death on the victim, Mr. Jones.
Do those messages 4 years before the murder happened have any indication that she knew that Charles Jones was going to die on June 23rd of 2024?
No.
And you have no way of definitively knowing whether she knew that Charles Jones was going to get killed, correct?
As a totality of the evidence throughout the case, yes.
You do?
The evidence would point to her knowledge in the involvement of the crime, her participation.
So your testimony today is that there's evidence, I guess in the totality of the evidence, you know that Alicia Andrews, you know definitively that Alicia Andrews knew that Charles Jones was going to die.
Again, there's no a singular piece of evidence other than a detailed confession that can tell me what's going on in someone's mind. So there's an inference or a logical deduction based off of all of the evidence that we've compiled in this case.
So you're making inferences?
It's evidence.
Following Detective Ramos's testimony, the prosecution rests, and the case turns over to the defense. For the first time since her arrest, Alicia Andrews decides to tell her side of the story by taking the stand in her own defense.
All right, Ms. Andrews, you're charged with 2 counts. One is first-degree murder, and the other is conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Did you know that Charles Jones was going to die on June 23rd of 2024?
No, I did not.
Did you have any involvement in Charles Jones's murder?
No, I did not.
Did anyone tell you anything about a plot to kill Charles Jones when you went to Tampa?
No, they didn't.
The prosecution argues Alicia and Isaiah followed Julio Foolio on June 23rd of 2024. She's captured on surveillance video with Isaiah at a number of Tampa nightclubs with a COVID mask covering her face. But Alicia says there's a specific reason she was wearing a mask.
I was pregnant at the time, so I didn't want to smell any smoke and prevent any health issues.
Did you wear a mask to conceal your identity?
No.
According to reports, Alicia has told a similar story. During her police interview, she reportedly revealed she wore a mask inside the club out of concern for her unborn child.
Did you go somewhere else after that?
Yes.
Where'd you go next?
Truth 18.
At the time, did you know what Truth 18 was, the name of it?
No.
Did you know who was going to be there?
No.
Did you ask Isaiah a chance to go to Truth 18?
No, he picked that.
Did he ask you for permission to go there?
No.
When you get to Truth 18, what do you do?
We sit there first, then we get out. He just starts to walk. He still has my phone, so I just walk after him.
Okay. Do you know if he talks to anyone while he's on your phone?
Yeah.
Do you know what app he's using to communicate with individuals?
No, at the time I didn't know.
Do you know if he's talking on FaceTime with anyone?
I believe it was FaceTime at that club that one time.
At Truth 18?
Yes.
Alicia says after she and Isaiah left the club Truth 18, Isaiah drove to a University of South Florida parking lot. He got out of the car and placed a phone call using her phone.
When he did that, did you think that that was strange?
Yeah.
Did you know at that time that he may be trying to kill someone?
No, I didn't.
Did he tell you that?
No.
After he hops out of the car, how long is he out of the car for?
I think it was like a couple minutes. It wasn't very long though.
Alicia testifies once Isaiah's back in the car, she didn't know what to say to him. Then all of a sudden, he begins driving erratically, even running through a red light.
What was going on in your head?
Why is he driving crazy?
Did you say anything to him at that point in time?
Yeah, I'm like, where you going?
Did you look at him?
Yeah.
And what was he doing?
He just holding the phone up driving.
Was he talking to anyone?
No.
So why was he holding up the phone?
I think he was looking at something on the messages.
At that time, did you know what he was doing?
No.
Did you know where he was going?
No.
Did he tell you to look out for anyone?
No, he didn't.
Did he tell you to identify where Julio Foolio was at?
No, he never told me that.
All right. And how long are you inside that parking lot there in that hotel?
It was very quick. He just turned around.
Right. Did he get out the car and talk to anyone?
No.
Did you get out the car and talk to anyone?
No.
And then after you leave that parking lot, what happens?
He drives off to like 2 streets over.
Well, okay. Do you hear anything?
Yeah, I heard shots.
All right. Tell me about the shots that you heard.
It was like a lot, and I looked at him like my mouth open, like you heard that? But he didn't really pay attention to me. He like, what? So I didn't say anything.
After that, what happens?
He waits a little bit, then he drives off back to the Airbnb.
All right. At this point in time, what's going on in your head?
I mean, I heard a lot of shots, so I didn't know what went on. Somebody shooting in the air, somebody got shot at. I didn't know.
Did you know that somebody died?
No.
Alicia testifies once they returned to the Airbnb, she says that she noticed everyone was acting weird.
And when you went inside, what did you see them doing?
I mean, they were just sitting around. One was on the couch, one was sitting at the dinner table, I think. And they were just sitting there, looked tired. They were stink. I just went upstairs.
All right. Did you see any guns when you went inside?
No, I didn't.
Did you see any rifles at all, anything?
No.
They got to the house before you?
Yeah.
When you went upstairs, what did you do?
I changed, got back in the bed.
The following day, she and Isaiah took an Uber back to Jacksonville because Sean, who drove them down there, had somewhere else to go.
You get back to Jacksonville that day?
Yeah.
And what happens next?
We get out the car. I just get in his car. And then he drops the guy that was in the back, Rashad. He dropped him back off to the place he was at.
All right. Did the Uber driver help you all with your bags?
Yeah.
That day, the day after you went to these nightclubs, did you go on social media at all?
I went on there, but wasn't doing nothing.
Did you see anything on social media?
Yeah, TikToks. I was on Instagram.
All right. And did you see that Charles Jones, Julio Foolio, had died?
Yes, on TikTok.
And what did you see, if you can remember?
I think people were outside recording, like, the hotel.
All right. Did you recognize the hotel?
Yeah.
And when you saw that on your social media, what did you think?
I mean, I was confused. I'm like, that's probably what I heard, but...
All right. And did you ask Isaiah about it?
Not necessarily asked him, but I showed him the video.
And what happened?
He was like, dang, and who page was it on?
Did he at that point tell you anything about him being involved in anything?
No, he didn't.
Did you think it was strange that you were in that area?
Yeah.
At a certain point in time, do you think that the individuals who were there, who were at the Airbnb, that they had anything to do with this?
I mean, at that time, I mean, I could say they were being weird, but I didn't think they would know. I don't know them personally to say, oh, they're a killer. Like, I don't.
Alicia says the first time detectives ever spoke with her was during her interrogation, and she quickly felt the pressure as investigators pushed her for answers.
While you're inside this interrogation room, do you feel any pressure?
Not in the beginning, but later on, yeah.
Why?
I mean, he was talking over me and yelling, and I felt like I was just closed in by two men.
The detective, was he cursing at you?
Yeah.
In your view, was he threatening you?
Yeah.
What types of threats did he make to you?
He said I was never going to see my baby. I was going to spend life in prison. He said you were never going to get to go out again, do your nails, your hair, something like that. He said a lot of stuff.
When he's asking you the question repeatedly, you understand what he's asking you.
Yeah.
Is he accepting what you're saying?
No.
When he does not accept what you're saying, do you get frustrated with him?
Yeah.
Are you showing that frustration?
No, I'm kind of doing like
I'm
a...
going to sustain. Don't leave the witness. Ask the next, rephrase your question.
Are you showing the frustration?
No, I'm just doing a nervous laugh.
Was he inside with you?
Yes, of course.
Okay, but he didn't know the front door.
Well, I don't know. Did y'all ask him that? 'Cause I don't know.
Why did you say, did y'all ask him that? Who is him?
Isaiah.
Why did you say that?
Because, I mean, it's about him. Like, go ask him.
When Alicia is cross-examined by the prosecution, the tension heats up.
You didn't seem like you were afraid in that interview. Were you afraid in the interview or not?
I was, but I handled myself well.
Okay. You weren't afraid of Isaiah Chance?
No, he's not even in there, so why would I be?
So, well, then I don't understand. Were you afraid to give up their names because you're afraid of them? You're afraid of Isaiah Chance and Davian Murphy and Rashad Murphy? Or are you protecting them in that interview?
I wouldn't say I'm doing any of that. I mean, you understand it's about a gang. I'm a female. I don't want to be in the middle of it, so I didn't answer it. And I don't know for sure if they did anything at the time of that, so I didn't say anything.
Alicia claims she and Isaiah were out enjoying the nightlife, but prosecutors point out they didn't stay very long at any of the clubs and didn't appear to be dressed for the occasion.
And on the day that you two are going clubbing, because that's the purpose, right? Going clubbing, right? Going out and having fun.
I mean, that was kind of last minute, so yeah.
Did you see what he was wearing? It was June in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
He was wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt with the hoodie all the way pulled up and a COVID mask.
Okay.
To go clubbing.
Yeah, you don't really go out, so I don't know what he would typically wear.
And you were wearing what?
I put on a jean jacket. I think I had on the blue pants and a regular shirt.
Is that how you normally go when you're going out for a night on the town to go clubbing?
I mean, no. Eventually, when I first arrived, I had a dress on. But once I realized other people were there, I took that off. So what you see me wearing is what I had on to McDonald's. And we stayed in the car, so I didn't go change. So, I just kept what I had on.
After Alicia Andrews' intense time on the stand, the defense rests their case, setting the stage for both sides to deliver their final argument to the jury.
They are there for one purpose, and that is to get eyes on the victim. And the video shows it. There is no doubt that is what happens. She is walking less than a foot away from him at all times when he is talking on their phone. It goes beyond belief that she didn't hear every single word that he said. And she is not shocked. She is not trying to walk away from him. And she certainly is not surprised because she knew it. All of the conversations about the conspiracy, they happened well before the date that we charged for that conspiracy. And you know it did. You know with your common sense that this was talked about at many locations, at many times, and many different places that we have never alleged and we will never be able to bring to you. Because the defendant will never admit what she did.
But in their closings, the defense argues there's no proof Alicia was aware of any murder conspiracy.
No evidence that Alicia Andrews intended to kill Charles Jones. No evidence that she conspired with any of these individuals. Alicia Andrews had messages that went back years. And they have them. Thousands of messages. Dig all the way back to 2020, 2021. Back when she was in high school, talking to her best friend at the age of 17. They went all the way back. And the best that they could find is that Alicia Andrews in 2021, when she was 17 years old, told her best friend that she thought Charles Jones was ugly and that he needed to die. And why did she say he needed to die? Charles Jones, as you all heard, was an individual who caused a lot of havoc in Jacksonville. Does that mean she wants him dead? Does that mean that she was going to actually kill him? She formed it in her mind at the age of 17 that she was going to one day group up together with 4 individuals, go to Tampa and kill him? No, it's not what it means. It's an ignorant comment at a very young age.
Alicia Andrews faces first-degree murder, but after a nearly 4-hour-long deliberation, the jury would ultimately return a different verdict.
We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1, the defendant is guilty of manslaughter, a lesser included offense. We, the jury, find as follows as to count 2, the defendant is not guilty.
Because the jury convicts Alicia on the lesser charge of manslaughter, she no longer faces the rest of her life in prison. Still, she is held behind bars pending sentencing, but it's put on hold while her attorneys file an appeal, arguing Judge Michelle Cisco was biased against the defense. According to court documents, quote, throughout the proceedings, Judge Cisco has exhibited overt hostility towards the defense, repeatedly interrupting counsel, refusing sidebars, and visibly prompting the prosecution during witness examination. The defense argues the behavior was obvious to courtroom observers who watched the trial on YouTube. In their motion, they reportedly include several comments from users about the judge's alleged bias. In January of 2026, a Second District Court of Appeals calls for Judge Michelle Cisco to be immediately removed from the case. And Judge Kimberly Fernandez is named the new presiding judge on Alicia's case. While Alicia awaits sentencing, her former co-defendants Isaiah Chance, Sean Gathright, Davion Murphy, and Rashad Murphy are all tried together in April of 2026.
They all intended for Charles Jones to be dead, and they all did something to assist. They all participated. They all had a role. And they are all guilty as principals to first-degree premeditated murder. And this case, this offense, more than any other factor, is undeniable proof that they are 1200 and that they are ATK, and that gang enhancement applies to Isaiah Chance, Rashad Murphy, and Davion Murphy. That these crimes were committed for the purpose of benefiting a gang, how can there be any doubt? You saw those videos that were posted a day after Charles Jones was killed. Game over. Just do it. All taking credit for killing 6 Block. That was the biggest takedown 1200 and ATK could have done. And there's a rap video saying, game over, you don't want a war.
Each defense attorney makes their own arguments for their clients. In Isaiah Chance's case, his attorney claims the evidence against him is circumstantial at best.
State came in and told us they're going to have a picture. They had a confident picture. They're going to tell you about a conspiracy, a gang war, 3 killers and a surveillance team, all coordinated, all disciplined, and that it pointed back, to, among others, to Isaiah Chance. You've seen everything the state has at this point, all the witnesses, all the evidence, all the exhibits. I'm going to ask you to ask yourself a question during my closing, during the state's closing, and when you're back in the room deliberating. Did the state prove, beyond a reasonable doubt, with actual evidence, not speculation, that Isaiah Chance knew murder was being planned, agreed to participate in it, and took some act in furtherance of that murder? Or do they want you to speculate your way to a guilty verdict? Again, there's no evidence that Isaiah Chance did anything to benefit himself through the gang. There's no evidence. They call him they say he's Mr. Rich Off War because he gets paid for this somehow. They haven't proved any of that. They simply haven't.
On May 8th of 2026, the jury reaches a verdict on the 4 remaining defendants.
State of Florida versus Isaiah Jermaine Chance, case number 24 CF 11996A, Trial Division 1, verdict form. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 1, victim Charles Jones. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder as charged. State of Florida versus Sean Andre Gathright, case number 24 CF 11996C, Trial Division 1, verdict form. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 1, victim Charles Jones. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder as charged. State of Florida versus Rashad Trayvon Murphy, case number 24 CF 11996D, Trial Division 1, verdict form. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 1, victim Charles Jones. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder as charged. The State of Florida versus Davion Rashad Murphy, case number 24 CF 11996E, Trial Division 1, verdict form. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 1, victim Charles Jones. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder as charged.
Isaiah Chance, Sean Gathright, Rashad Murphy, and Davion Murphy were looking at a possible death sentence. But following the penalty phase of the trial, jurors spared all 4 men from the death penalty. Instead, they recommend a sentence of life in prison without parole. Following their convictions, Alicia Andrews returns to the courtroom for her sentencing, where she comes face to face with the mother of Charles Jones.
The trauma from this loss follows me every single day. No sentence will ever bring Charles back to me, but accountability matters. Alicia family can see her. They can talk to her. She can see her child, but I can't see my child. I have to go to visit him in a wall at the cemetery. I ask this court to remember that behind every headline is a real family suffering permanent damage. My son's life mattered. He was not disposable. The emotional devastation caused by this murder reaches far beyond the courtroom and will affect my life forever.
Alicia chooses not to speak during her sentencing hearing. The state calls the facts of the case egregious and argues she should be sentenced to the maximum under the statute, 15 years in prison. But the defense is still appealing for a new trial. So they surprisingly asked the court to give her credit for time served, followed by 5 years of probation. But the judge sides with the prosecution.
So the court, having obviously reviewed the trial transcripts, the court file, all the evidence in this case, the pre-sentence investigation report, the argument of counsel, it's the judgment sentence in order this court to adjudicate the defendant guilty, sentence her to 15 years in the Florida State Prison. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you.
As of this recording, Alicia Andrews remains in the Hillsborough County Jail pending her transfer to a state prison in Florida. As for Isaiah Chance, Sean Gathright, Davion Murphy, and Rashad Murphy, all 4 defendants are expected to be sentenced to life in prison without parole in June of 2026. Thanks for joining me on this episode. I'm Elizabeth Millner, and we'll see you back here next week with another female criminal.